Good morning. Thank you for joining me today. This morning we'll be in Numbers chapter 6, verse 1 through chapter 7, verse 89. Then the Lord spoke to Moses. Speak to the Israelites and tell them, when either a man or a woman takes a special vow to take a vow as a Nazirite to separate himself to the Lord, he must separate himself from wine and strong drink. He must drink neither vinegar made from wine nor vinegar made from strong drink, nor may he drink any juice of grapes, nor eat fresh grapes or raisins. All the days of his separation he must not eat anything that is produced by the grapevine from seed to skin. All the days of the vow of his separation no razor may be used on his head until the time is fulfilled for which he separated himself to the Lord. He will be holy, and he must let the locks of hair on his head grow long. All the days that he separates himself to the Lord, he must not contact a dead body. He must not defile himself, even for his father, or his mother, or his brother, or his sister if they die, because the separation for his God is on his head. All the days of his separation he must be holy to the Lord. If anyone dies very suddenly beside him, and he defiles his consecrated head, then he must shave his head on the day of his purification. On the 7th day he must shave it. On the 8th day he is to bring 2 turtle doves or 2 young pigeons to the priest, to the entrance to the tent of meeting. Then the priest will offer one for a purification offering, and the other as a burnt offering, and make atonement for him, because of his transgression in regard to the corpse. So he must reconsecrate his head on that day. He must rededicate to the Lord the days of his separation, and bring a male lamb in its first year as a reparation offering. But the former days will not be counted, because his separation was defiled. Now this is the law of the Nazirite. When the days of his separation are fulfilled, he must be brought to the entrance of the tent of meeting, and he must present his offering to the Lord: 1 male lamb in its first year without blemish for a burnt offering, 1 ewe lamb in its first year without blemish for a purification offering, 1 ram without blemish for a peace offering, and a basket of bread made without yeast, cakes of fine flour mixed with olive oil, wafers made without yeast and smeared with olive oil, and their grain offering and their drink offerings. Then the priest must present all these before the Lord, and offer his purification offering and his burnt offering. Then he must offer the ram as a peace offering to the Lord, with the basket of bread made without yeast. The priest must also offer his grain offering and his drink offering. Then the Nazirite must shave his consecrated head at the entrance to the tent of meeting, and must take the hair from his consecrated head and put it on the fire where the peace offering is burning. And the priest must take the boiled shoulder of the ram, 1 cake made without yeast from the basket, and 1 wafer made without yeast, and put them on the hands of the Nazirite after he has shaved his consecrated head. Then the priest must wave them as a wave offering before the Lord. It is a holy portion for the priest, together with the breast of the wave offering and the thigh of the raised offering. After this, the Nazirite may drink wine. This is the law of the Nazirite, who vows to the Lord his offering according to his separation, as well as whatever else he can provide. Thus he must fulfill his vow that he makes according to the law of his separation. The Lord spoke to Moses. Tell Aaron and his sons, this is the way you are to bless the Israelites. Say to them, the Lord bless you and protect you. The Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. So they will put my name on the Israelites, and I will bless them. When Moses had completed setting up the tabernacle, he anointed it and consecrated it and all its furnishings, and he anointed and consecrated the altar and all its utensils. Then the leaders of Israel, the heads of their clans, made an offering. They were the leaders of the tribes. They were the ones who had been supervising the numbering. They brought their offering before the Lord: 6 covered carts and 12 oxen, 1 cart for every 2 of the leaders, and an ox for each one, and they presented them in front of the tabernacle. Then the Lord spoke to Moses, receive these gifts from them, that they may be used in doing the work of the tent of meeting, and you must give them to the Levites, to every man as his service requires. So Moses accepted the carts and the oxen and gave them to the Levites. He gave 2 carts and 4 oxen to the Gershonites as their service required, and he gave 4 carts and 8 oxen to the Merarites as their service required, under the authority of Ithamar, son of Aaron the priest. But to the Kohathites he gave none, because the service of the holy things, which they carried on their shoulders, was their responsibility. The leaders offered gifts for the dedication of the altar when it was anointed, and the leaders presented their offering before the altar. For the Lord said to Moses, "They must present their offering, 1 leader for each day, for the dedication of the altar." The one who presented his offering on the first day was Nahshon, son of Amminadab, from the tribe of Judah. His offering was 1 silver platter weighing 130 shekels, and 1 silver sprinkling bowl weighing 70 shekels, both according to the sanctuary shekel, each of them full of fine flour mixed with olive oil as a grain offering. 1 gold pan weighing 10 shekels, full of incense, 1 young bull, 1 ram, and 1 male lamb in its first year for a burnt offering, 1 male goat for a purification offering, and for the sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 bulls, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 male lambs in their first year. This was the offering of Nahshon, son of Amminadab. On the second day, Nethanel, son of Zuar, leader of Issachar, presented an offering. He offered for his offering 1 silver platter weighing 130 shekels, and 1 silver sprinkling bowl weighing 70, both according to the sanctuary shekel, each of them full of fine flour mixed with olive oil, as a grain offering. 1 gold pan weighing 10 shekels, full of incense, 1 young bull, 1 ram, and 1 male lamb in its first year for burnt offering, 1 male goat for a purification offering, and for the sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 bulls, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 male lambs in the first year. This was the offering of Nethanel, son of Zuar. On the third day, Eliab, son of Helon, leader of the Zebulunites, presented an offering. His offering was 1 silver platter weighing 130 shekels, and 1 silver sprinkling bowl weighing 70 shekels, both according to the sanctuary shekel, each of them full of fine flour mixed with olive oil as a grain offering. 1 gold pan weighing 10 shekels, full of incense, 1 young bull, 1 ram, and 1 male lamb in its first year for a burnt offering, 1 male goat for a purification offering, and for the sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 bulls, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 male lambs in the first year. This was the offering of Eliab, son of Helon. On the fourth day, Elizur, son of Sheduer, leader of the Reubenites, presented an offering. His offering was 1 silver platter weighing 130 shekels, and 1 silver sprinkling bowl weighing 70 shekels, both according to the sanctuary shekel, each of them full of fine flour mixed with olive oil as a grain offering. 1 gold pan weighing 10 shekels, full of incense, 1 young bull, 1 ram, and 1 male lamb in its first year for a burnt offering, 1 male goat for a purification offering, and for the sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 bulls, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 lambs in their first year. This was the offering of Elizur, son of Sheduer. On the fifth day, Shelemiel, son of Zereshaddai, leader of the Simeonites, presented an offering. His offering was 1 silver platter weighing 130 shekels, and 1 silver sprinkling bowl weighing 70 shekels, both according to the sanctuary shekel, each of them full of fine flour mixed with olive oil as a grain offering. 1 gold pan weighing 10 shekels, 1 young bull, 1 ram, and 1 male lamb in its first year for a burnt offering, 1 male goat for a purification offering, and for the sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 bulls, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 lambs in their first year. This was the offering of Shelemiel, son of Zereshaddai. On the sixth day, Eliasaph, son of Deuel, leader of the Gadites, presented an offering. His offering was 1 silver platter weighing 130 shekels, and 1 silver sprinkling bowl weighing 70 shekels, both according to the sanctuary shekel, each of them full of fine flour mixed with olive oil as a grain offering. 1 gold pan weighing 10 shekels, 1 young bull, 1 ram, and 1 male lamb in its first year for a burnt offering, 1 male goat for a purification offering, and for the sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 bulls, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 lambs in their first year. This was the offering of Eliasaph, son of Deuel. On the seventh day, Elishama, son of Ammihud, leader of the Ephraimites, presented an offering. His offering was 1 silver platter weighing 130 shekels, and 1 silver sprinkling bowl weighing 70 shekels, both according to the sanctuary shekel, each of them full of fine flour mixed with olive oil as grain offering. 1 gold pan weighing 10 shekels, full of incense, 1 young bull, 1 ram, and 1 male lamb in its first year for a burnt offering, 1 male goat for a purification offering, and for the sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 bulls, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 lambs in their first year. This was the offering of Elishama, son of Ammihud. On the 8th day, Gamaliel, son of Pedazar, leader of the Manassites, presented an offering. His offering was 1 silver platter weighing 130 shekels, and 1 silver sprinkling bowl weighing 70 shekels, both according to the sanctuary shekel, each of them full of fine flour mixed with olive oil as a grain offering. 1 gold pan weighing 10 shekels, full of incense, 1 young bull, 1 ram, and 1 male lamb in its first year for a burnt offering, 1 male goat for a purification offering, and for the sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 bulls, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 lambs in their first year. This was the offering of Gamaliel, son of Pedazar. On the 9th day, Abidan, son of Gideoni, leader of the Benjaminites, presented an offering. His offering was 1 silver platter weighing 130 shekels, and 1 silver sprinkling bowl weighing 70 shekels, both according to the sanctuary shekel, each of them full of fine flour mixed with olive oil as a grain offering, 1 gold pan weighing 10 shekels, full of incense, 1 young bull, 1 ram, and 1 male lamb in its first year for a burnt offering, 1 male goat for a purification offering. For the sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 bulls, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 lambs in their first year. This was the offering of Abidan, son of Gideoni. On the 10th day, Ahiezer, son of Ammishaddai, leader of the Danites, presented an offering. His offering was 1 silver platter weighing 130 shekels and 1 silver sprinkling bowl weighing 70 shekels, both according to the sanctuary shekel, each of them full of fine flour mixed with olive oil as a grain offering, 1 gold pan weighing 10 shekels, full of incense, 1 young bull, 1 ram, and 1 male lamb in its first year for a burnt offering, 1 male goat for a purification offering. For the sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 bulls, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 lambs in their first year. This was the offering of Ahiezer, son of Ammishaddai. On the 11th day, Pagiel, son of Ochran, leader of the Asherites, presented an offering. His offering was 1 silver platter weighing 130 shekels and 1 silver sprinkling bowl weighing 70 shekels, both according to the sanctuary shekel, each of them full of fine flour mixed with olive oil as a grain offering, 1 gold pan weighing 10 shekels, full of incense, 1 young bull, 1 ram, and 1 male lamb in its first year for a burnt offering, 1 male goat for a purification offering, and for the sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 bulls, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 lambs in their first year. This was the offering of Pagiel, son of Ochran. On the 12th day, Ahira, son of Enan, leader of the Naphtalites, presented an offering. His offering was 1 silver platter weighing 130 shekels, and 1 silver sprinkling bowl weighing 70 shekels, both according to the sanctuary shekel, each of them full of fine flour mixed with olive oil as a grain offering, 1 gold pan weighing 10 shekels, 1 young bull, 1 ram, 1 male lamb in its first year for a burnt offering, 1 male goat for a purification offering, and for the sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 bulls, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 lambs in their first year. This was the offering of Ahira, son of Enan. This was the dedication for the altar from the leaders of Israel. When it was anointed, 12 silver platters, 12 silver sprinkling bowls, and 12 gold pans. Each silver platter weighed 130 shekels, and each silver sprinkling bowl weighed 70 shekels. All the silver of the vessels weighed 2,400 shekels, according to the sanctuary shekel. The 12 gold pans full of incense weighed 10 shekels each, according to the sanctuary shekel. All the gold of the pans weighed 120 shekels. All the animals for the burnt offering were 12 young bulls, 12 rams, 12 male lambs in their first year with a grain offering, and 12 male goats for a purification offering. All the animals for the sacrifice of the peace offering were 24 young bulls, 60 rams, 60 male goats, and 60 lambs in their first year. These were the dedication offerings for the altar after it was anointed. Now when Moses went into the tent of meeting to speak with the Lord, he heard the voice speaking to him from above the atonement lid that was on the ark of the testimony from between the 2 cherubim. Thus he spoke to him. Okay. Repeated 12 times. Though I suppose in a way it's kind of cool in that you have each of these leaders bringing their gift to the Lord, and it's not as though the first person gets preeminence in their gift by it gets listed out the first time for them, and the rest of them, yeah, and they brought the same thing. Each one is verbally recognized in the same way. So, and it's not as though this is a small gift that's coming into the tabernacle. 200 shekels of silver and 10 shekels of gold. So each silver bowl weighed about 3 pounds. Each silver plate weighed about 3 pounds. Each silver bowl about 2 pounds. And the gold shovel was 4 ounces or so. That's what Guzik is saying here. Not to mention all of the animals that are being dedicated here as well. Yeah, according to Morgan, in each case, the giving was equal, thus precluding the possibility of any spirit of rivalry and realizing unity of purpose. Yeah, God's purpose for this repetition was to draw attention to each tribe's offering, though they were all the same. Godly giving is always noticed by God, even if it is the same or less than many other gifts. God sees and records every gift given in a right heart, even if it's only worth 2 mites. Every gift from a promised land kind of heart is noticed by God. Oh, yeah, and at the very end, you have Moses entering the tabernacle and God speaking to him above the mercy seat. And we see that God's voice was an audible voice, not merely an impression in the mind. This is perhaps the one instance in which we have a clear statement that in communing with God, Moses did actually hear a voice. The communications which he received were more than subjective impressions. They were objective expressions. And in this case, there's no form or visible manifestation. It's only a voice that's heard. Also, you have the benediction that's given to Aaron and his sons in Numbers 6:23 through 27. This is the way you are to bless the Israelites. Say to them, the Lord bless you and protect you. The Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. So they will put my name on the Israelites, and I will bless them. This is picked out in the book as I've been reading lately, Who Shall Ascend the Mountain of the Lord. Calls it a sevenfold blessing, I believe. A threefold use of the divine name here, plus 12 remaining words. It's symbolic in nature. Well, it has symbolic aspects to it, in that similar to how the light of the lamp stand in the tabernacle is showing on the showbread, that is the children of Israel, so too God's light shines upon the Israelites. The Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. And this light is connected with putting his name on them. So they will put my name on the Israelites, and I will bless them. So, kind of interesting. Going forward here, Mark 12:38 through 13:13. In his teaching, Jesus also said, watch out for the experts in the law. They like walking around in long robes and elaborate greetings in the marketplaces, and the best seats in the synagogues, and the places of honor at banquets. They devour widows' property, and as a show make long prayers. These men will receive a more severe punishment. Then he sat down opposite the offering box and watched the crowd putting coins into it. Many rich people were throwing in large amounts, and a poor widow came and put in 2 small copper coins, worth less than a penny. He called his disciples and said to them, I tell you the truth, this poor widow has put more into the offering box than all the others, for they all gave out of their wealth, but she, out of her poverty, put in what she had to live on, everything she had. Now as Jesus was going out of the temple courts, one of his disciples said to him, "Teacher, look at these tremendous stones and buildings." Jesus said to him, "Do you see these great buildings? Not one stone will be left on another. All will be torn down." So while he was sitting on the Mount of Olives opposite the temple, Peter, James, John, and Andrew asked him privately, "Tell us, when will these things happen? And what will be the sign that all these things are about to take place?" Jesus began to say to them, "Watch out that no one misleads you. Many will come in my name, saying, 'I am he,' and they will mislead many. When you hear of wars and rumors of wars, do not be alarmed. These things must happen, but the end is still to come. For nation will rise up in arms against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. There will be earthquakes in various places, and there will be famines. These are but the beginning of birth pains. You must watch out for yourselves. You will be handed over to councils and beaten in the synagogues. You will stand before governors and kings because of me, as a witness to them. First, the gospel must be preached to all nations. When they arrest you and hand you over for trial, do not worry about what to speak, but say whatever is given you at that time. For it is not you speaking, but the Holy Spirit. Brother will hand over brother to death, and a father his child. Children will rise against parents and have them put to death. You will be hated by everyone because of my name, but the one who endures to the end will be saved. Speaking of God, recording and noticing every sacrifice that's given in a promised land heart. You have recorded in 1241 through 44 the poor widow who gave 2 small copper coins. So, pretty cool. Whether big or small, God recognizes the intention there. Yeah, and as in juxtaposition to the size of this widow's offering, you have the disciples highlighting these external physical things, like the temple courts with all of the tremendous stones and buildings, but Jesus pointing out that not one stone will be left on another, all will be torn down. So, for me, that really highlights how the paradigm is different with the kingdom of heaven. That is, in this world, people glory over, beautiful buildings and impressive architecture and, loads of money. But God chooses the despised things, the things that are weak, to exhibit his glory. Psalm 49, verses 1 through 20. Listen to this, all you nations. Pay attention, all you inhabitants of the world. Pay attention, all you people, both rich and poor. I will declare a wise saying. I will share my profound thoughts. I will learn a song that imparts wisdom. I will then sing my insightful song to the accompaniment of a harp. Why should I be afraid in times of trouble, when the sinful deeds of deceptive men threaten to overwhelm me? They trust in their wealth and boast in their great riches. Certainly a man cannot rescue his brother. He cannot pay God an adequate ransom price. The ransom price for a human life is too high, and people go to their final destiny, so that he might continue to live forever and not experience death. Surely, one sees that even wise people die. Fools and spiritually insensitive people all pass away and leave their wealth to others. Their grave becomes their permanent residence, their eternal dwelling place. They name their lands after themselves, but despite their wealth, people do not last. They are like animals that perish. This is the destiny of fools and of those who approve of their philosophy. Selah. They will travel to Sheol like sheep, with death as their shepherd. The godly will rule over them when the day of vindication dawns. Sheol will consume their bodies, and they will no longer live in impressive houses. But God will rescue my life from the power of Sheol. Certainly he will pull me to safety. Selah. Do not be afraid when a man becomes rich and his wealth multiplies, for he will take nothing with him when he dies. His wealth will not follow him down into the grave. He pronounces this blessing on himself while he is alive. May men praise you, for you have done well. But he will join his ancestors. They will never again see the light of day. Wealthy people do not understand. They are like animals that perish. And finally, Proverbs chapter 10, verses 27 and 28. Fearing the Lord prolongs life, but the lifespan of the wicked will be shortened. The hope of the righteous is joy, but the expectation of the wicked man will remain unfulfilled. Okay, well, thank you so much for joining me today. Hope you have a great day.